Okay, well, that's a nice welcome to everyone, but thank you all for coming to our general body meeting. Starting from this Tuesday, we'll be doing bi-weekly meetings, so we'll have 1 week off next week, and then we'll have another meeting the week after with another company-led sponsor. So first things first, if you haven't already, um, make sure to access that link right there, the tiny URL. I also posted in the chat for your attendance. This is a great way for us to keep track of who's coming, and we are going to have a point system which has different prizes for how involved you are in SWE, and that will be kind of finalized later on in a couple weeks, but we're still keeping track of everything starting from now. So the first thing we're going to do today is actually do a little scavenger hunt with our website. So make sure if you're on your laptop that you have another tab open for our website, or if you're on your phone, having something else to access our website. But basically, we're going to ask several questions about where to find certain parts of our website or what information. And the first person to type it in the chat will get a point, and then whoever has the most points will be the winner. And I'll need one of the execs to keep track of that for me. Whoever wants to do that, let me know. But yeah, whoever wins will keep track of your name, and you'll probably get a point for the point system, which kind of contributes to your involvement and a possible prize later on in the semester. So with that said, let's get started. The first question is, what is our website URL? Okay, has someone already posted it? Yep, cool. So if you didn't know, it's swe.gtorg.godtech.edu, and you can see, I guess, the top part of our website here. But definitely keep that bookmarked or something. We put a lot of good resources on there, and as we go through the scavenger hunt, you'll see like the kinds of information we share there that can be helpful to you. So next question is, where can you find exec bios? So you just have to type out like how you would find it, what things you'd click on. Has someone got it? Yep. Okay. So if you go to About, there's an Officers tab, and then when you hover over that, there's a drop down with all of our different execs. So I know for our first general body meeting, we kind of introduced each of ourselves, what we do, what are our interests, and things like that. So all that information is right there if you want to reread about it and get to know us a bit more. Next thing, where can you find information on our point system? Did someone get it? Anyone?
Yeah, they have it in the chat.
Okay, cool. I can't see the chat right now, so I'm gonna need someone to verify for me. But if you go on to member resources, you'll see when you scroll down a bit, there's incentive program, and there's a cool flyer right there. So this is actually last year's. Like I mentioned, we're still getting this finalized because we will be having less general body meetings and things are going to be virtual. So it's going to be a little bit more complicated, but this will give you a general idea of how we're keeping track of points and hopefully get you excited about how you can stay involved in SWE and get prizes for getting involved. Okay, this one's important because we're starting to record meetings, our videos. So where can you find last week's meeting slides or recordings? Did someone get it?
I think they have it.
Okay. Also, I forgot to mention, I'm assuming execs are not playing because that's kind of cheating, especially Daksha, who made our website. But um, yeah, hopefully this is all intuitive. If it's not, we definitely appreciate any feedback, but it should be under member resources, and there's a post that's labeled 8/26/2020 GBM. I know that's a day off, but that's when Daksha posted it. So you can see, once you click on that post, there will be like that video right there. So that's a recording, and then the links to the slides are also there too. So we'll be posting this as often as we can if companies are comfortable with us recording their presentation. So if you miss it for any reason, you can always go on our website and check it out. We'll also post it in our Slack channel after every meeting if we can. Okay, how can you sign up for a newsletter? Yeah, someone got it? Okay. Should be pretty easy. It's really important, so we put it on our front page. So if you scroll down on the right, there's this tab on the side where you can put in your information. And I just want to emphasize that our newsletter has all the opportunities we cover in our meeting slides all in one place with all the details on how to join and stuff. So if you haven't already, make sure to sign up. I think this is just one of the helpful ways to get reminders every Sunday about our upcoming events. This is also important. Where can you find information on background checks? Did someone get it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So if you go on youth programs and you scroll down and with all those cute little boxes, there's one that's labeled background check. And if you click on learn more, that'll take you to a form. So yeah, this is really important because we're going to be having outreach events. So they are virtual this semester, but we'll be having outreach events for K through 12, so elementary, middle, high school, and also SWE Next sections. And you need to be background checked in order to volunteer for those, even if it is virtual. So we highly recommend that you fill that out as soon as possible. It does take a while to process everything, and you'll have like a training on youth protection and things like that. But that'll help you get involved, and you can help inspire the next generation of female engineers or female STEM students, which is really exciting. Okay, where can you find information on corporate sponsorship levels? Yeah? Okay. Makes sense. Corporate partners, and there's a drop down that says corporate sponsorship levels. This might not be as important for us, for the students, but if you're curious about how we get sponsors and the types of events they host, you can find those right there. And this just shows kind of all the hard work that Elise is doing right now as VP of Industry Relations and also Deepti as VP of Technical Development. So hopefully that helps you get a little excited about all the cool company events that we're going to be having this semester. Where can you find info on SWE Next programs? Someone get it? Okay. So yeah, SWE Next, which is basically a high school section of SWE, falls under community outreach. So that's what Becca, VP of Community Outreach, works on. And again, if you just go to that tab and scroll down, you'll see a box where you can click learn more. Right now, there's not information on there, but in the future there will be. So we're still updating our website with all the information for this semester. But it's good to get yourself familiarized now, just because we'll be posting important information on it. Okay, next one. Where can you find interesting reads? Yeah? Okay. So, if you go to member resources, hover over it. Don't click on it, but hover over it. There's another drop down for additional resources. And there you can see both resources for STEM students and also interesting reads, things about, women in STEM, role models or people in history who have paved the way for us. So honestly, if you guys find any cool articles and things like that that you'd like on the website for other people to read, definitely reach out to Daksha. You can message her on Slack or email her. But feel free to check them out if you're interested. Where can you find more info to get involved with GradSui? Cool. Click on GradSui. There you go. Should be pretty intuitive. One thing I do want to plug is GradSui recently created a channel for themselves on our SWE Slack. So if you're a grad student and you want to talk specifically to people in GradSui, definitely go to the sidebar, search up in channels GradSui, and then you can join there. But they also have some information here about their Facebook group, so you can get involved that way too. Okay, and last but not least, where can you find GT SWE's values? Yeah, cool. If you go to About, Georgia Tech SWE, it's right there. It has, we were established in 1958, which is a long time ago, and we're one of the biggest collegiate sections. So those are just the general values. You can also find some information on our Engage page, but if you just want to know like the general mission and vision of SWE, you can find that there. So, do we have a winner? Drumroll announcement.
We do.
Yeah, so
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
both of you were, you go. I might.
Okay, well, the count that I got at least was Katie Caulfield. Caulfield? Yeah, that's right.
I concur.
Okay.
Congrats. Okay, so we'll note down your name. Hopefully you have some bragging rights first, but glad you're quick on our website. Hopefully it's intuitive. And we'll keep your name down for Steely, our VP of membership, who can hold on to that and hopefully give you a point later on for our system. But again, just a reminder for everyone to click on that link for attendance, and then we're just going to get into the announcements for our upcoming events this week. So before that, I just wanted to quickly go over SWE membership one more time since this is only our second meeting. But to become a member of just the Georgia Tech SWE section, you don't need to pay for anything. We don't have dues. You can just join us on our Engage page, request to join, and then Georgia Tech will recognize you as a member of our student organization. However, if you want more benefits and ways to get involved in SWE, you can also pay for a national SWE membership because we're part of the National SWE organization. So with that, if you pay $20, you can cover 1 year, or you can pay $50 and cover all 4 years or 5 years of college or more, plus that 1 year of professional. And this will give you benefits to apply for chair and exec positions, attend conferences, get scholarships, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely looking for that. You can go on our website about become a member and find more information on that. And then some of these we've covered before. I'm not sure if everyone's seen it, but join our Georgia Tech SWE community. If you're interested, we sometimes post about upcoming events or just, chat with each other on there. More frequently used is gtswe.slack.com. That's where we posted our meeting recordings, and you can also follow us on Instagram. There are major specific channels, so if you go to the left side and look at the list of channels and search up your specific major, you can join that and chat with people about classes or professors or anything like that. And also, if you don't want to miss any of the notifications, definitely change your preferences to make it for all notifications and not just ones that you're mentioned in. So, yep.
Hannah, can I say something about that? So make sure that you're in your major specific channel, because sometimes there are opportunities that come to SWE that ask for specific majors to volunteer, and so those opportunities will be put in your major specific channel. So just make sure that you have that and the notifications on for that so you can sign up for those opportunities.
Yep, great point, Katie. Definitely want to emphasize this. We'd love to have people use it, especially now when we can't actually see each other in person. It's a great way to stay connected with people in your same major. I guess newsletter, you also saw on our website, if you just go to the homepage, scroll to the bottom, you'll see it on the right-hand side. But definitely important to keep track of all the upcoming opportunities. We have a lot, and this will just help you stay on top of things. Another way, if you want to see how this SWE events overlap with your own personal calendar, you can click on that link and add that calendar to yours and see when our events are. And those calendar notices will also have links to join. So there's definitely multiple places where you can find how to join any meeting or event we have. Yep, so as we mentioned, everything's virtual this semester, if you didn't know already, and we're going to have bi-weekly general body meetings starting this week. So next week we won't have one, but the week after we will. First thing is Tea with the Dean. Just to reiterate, actually it's going to be coming up next Thursday, I believe, September 10th. So if you are a freshman engineering student, female engineering student, you should have already gotten an invitation in your email to sign up and register for Tea with the Dean. And this is just a big welcome event for incoming students, and you'll get your first year of SWE membership free. So if you're a first year and you're interested in conference or chair application, if you go to Tea with the Dean, you'll get your membership free, and you won't have to really worry about that for this year. So also, if you're not a first year, we're still looking for volunteers to moderate breakout sessions. So after we have our keynote speakers and things like that, we'll be breaking out into smaller Blue Jeans rooms where we can talk with other people in our majors. So if you want to help moderate those, please sign up. We need more volunteers, and it'd be great to welcome new members. Now, just because this is our second meeting and maybe some people haven't seen this yet, chair applications are open. So this is a great way to get involved in leadership. Even if you're new, we definitely recommend that you apply. It's a great way to learn about SWE and meet new people. So yeah, we have our descriptions right there. I noticed last week that I accidentally put September 15th, but it should be September 16th at 11:59 p.m. EST. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me. And also, last week we had a social media campaign that talked a little bit more about what each exec does and how you as a chair could possibly help if you become one. So we have that saved in a highlight on our Instagram. If you go to our Instagram homepage, you can find it and learn a little bit more besides just reading the descriptions. And then another thing is conference. So this year, conference is also virtual, but it's still going to be a really great time. We're going to be having sessions that we can attend together and discuss about, and other fun activities that are a surprise. So make sure if you're interested in attending to apply. And there's also an FAQ document that has more details about application process and what we consider when you're applying. So make sure to read that first before you email Katie Bishop, our VP of Admin. But yeah, you'll be getting excused absences if you're accepted to conference for those days, so you don't have to worry about classes. This is just a little bit about NGA, who is going to be presenting today, but we'll let them cover that near the end. So next up is something Elise you want to talk about?
Hi, okay. Hi everyone, I'm Elise. I'm the VP of Industry Relations, in case you have forgotten. So tomorrow is our second event of the fall, and it is an online event with Gore. They are essentially a manufacturing and materials company. They actually stem from DuPont, which I find pretty cool. I'm a chemical engineer, so that's right up my alley. But I hope you guys are excited because it is tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. So please sign up there, and then there's a Blue Jeans link right below. And all of this is available on our calendar, and I just posted it in the Slack, so you can grab the link from either place.
Yep. And one thing I wanted to emphasize is that even if this company seems like something that wouldn't fit your major, you never know. And I would recommend, if you have time, to like check out an event with a company that you don't know that much about, because it's actually really cool to learn about different industries that you might not know about already. So, yep. Outreach. I don't know if Kat's here, but Becca, do you want to?
Yep. Okay. So as we mentioned earlier, background checks are rolling. So please, if you're intending on doing outreach, or actually if you are pretty sure you're going to apply to be a chair, all chairs are going to need to have a background check in order to participate in all the outreach. So please go ahead and get those in. We have quite a few events coming up. The first is on, or one of the biggest ones is on the 26th of September. So very, very quickly, you'll probably barely be able to get the outreach form in and through and all the training done by the time the 26th rolls around. And then we also have a bunch of different webinars that are going to happen monthly for SWE Next. So those are all pretty much occurring starting at least the third, fourth week of September going into October. So if you have any intention of doing the outreach, please do that. Also, if you already have gotten background checked in the past, please make sure that you filled out and re-registered your training. Kat should have sent you an email a week or so ago, probably a little bit before that, basically taking a 1-hour EverFi training course. So please, if you're still in the process of that, go ahead and get that done so we can make sure that you can participate in outreach this year.
Cool. I don't know, Doctor, do you want to talk about this one? You on here? If not, I can cover it. So just another great resource here. We are using Evernote this time instead of Google Slides in the past, but basically we have notebooks for different kinds of opportunities. Evernote. Daksha's looks like she's lagging, but yeah, we have links to different notebooks. So we have on-campus opportunities, so other organizations have reached out to us so you can see what other clubs are doing. Professional opportunities, especially right now during recruiting season, there's a ton of opportunities that are coming your way about internships, info sessions, anything like that. And these are events that SWE doesn't host specifically, so we don't have the capacity to necessarily advertise them all at once, but they're all compiled into this one notebook. So yeah, make sure to check those out. We have them in these slides, and those slides are linked on our website. So next up is just a company presentation. Our company of the week is National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. So I will let Nikisha take over. Would you like to share your screen, Nikisha, right now?
Since you have him here, I'm trying to think which is best. I'll go ahead and share mine so that I already have it open, if that makes sense. Continue. Where's that? All right, everyone can see this, right? Hopefully, because I can't hear. All right. Can someone just say if you can hear me? Because I can't see you because I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to meet with you today. My name is Kenesha Smith Bunyan, and I'm a campus recruiter with the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, also known as NGA. I'm the assigned campus recruiter for Georgia Tech and have been coming to campus for your All Majors Career Fair and just for tabling opportunities, information session opportunities. I actually had a trip planned to meet with you all back in March. I think it was late March, but of course, COVID struck, and so everything fell apart. So glad to be able to finally get some time to speak with you. So this evening, I will be having an information session, and what that basically entails is I'll be giving you a little bit more background information about NGA, what it is that we do, where we are, and then also sharing with you some information about our summer 2021 internship opportunity. And hopefully you'll be interested in applying for that, and then sharing like application tips and then how you can actually go about and apply for the internship. So let's go ahead and get started. So if you haven't heard of NGA, National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, we are one of the 17 agencies that make up the intelligence community, also known as the IC. So I'm sure a number of you are familiar with the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is DIA, CIA, so on and so forth. NGA is one of those. We're a partner or sister organization with all of the other 17. This slide here just shows you the quote unquote big six that make up the IC. And of this big six, each intelligence agency conducts its own type of intelligence. So CIA conducts what's known as human intelligence or HUMINT. So if you think of like Jason Bourne or any of those like undercover operatives, that's the sort of intelligence they do. NSA, National Security Agency, they work in signals intelligence, also known as SIGINT. And then NGA, we actually conduct what's referred to as geospatial intelligence or GEOINT. And I'll discuss that a little bit more in the next few slides. So what is geospatial intelligence? Typically, when you think of GEOINT, you think of imagery. So you think of GPS, right? You think of satellites high in the sky taking images or photos of the ground. And that's true. That's part of what GEOINT is. But how we define it, we define GEOINT as a highly evolved intelligence discipline that tells you where exactly something or someone is, what specifically it is, and also why it is important. So we're using those images that we're capturing, figuring out why the area that those images were taken, why it's important, what's going on, and then all that data that we conduct and the analysis that we conduct of the imagery, we're then able to inform national security issues. So we conduct GEOINT for policymakers. So you think of Congress, for our intelligence community partners, so all of those big six agencies. And then we also share geospatial intelligence with our military, with our combat support troops, to ensure that when they are navigating and are on the ground, that they're not put in harm's way. So if anything or something has a point, a location on the earth, if you can map it, if you can chart it, or if you can reference a location spatially, that's known as GEOINT or geospatial intelligence. So the manners or the platforms in which NGA collects our GEOINT are listed here on this slide. That's going to include spaceborne. So those are going to be the typical satellites you would have heard of, and those are going to be government-wide and also commercial satellites. We have airborne products. Those are going to be drones. Surface, which are rovers, so we can have rovers going around on land, right, on surface, taking imagery for us and then utilizing that data to analyze it and provide like research and analysis on it to provide that for national security issues. Subsurface, so anything below the ground or in the water, and then open source. So open source is kind of where you all come in. It's basically anything that we can pull from open source, right? So Google, Twitter, Facebook. If you post IG stories or photos on your Instagram or your Twitter and you do those geotagging and say you're hanging out with your friends at a certain location, God forbid something to happen if you're in a coffee shop or at a local restaurant and a number of people are posting and tagging the same location saying, oh my God, I just felt the earth shake, so on and so forth. We at NGA can use that geotagging information and actually realize, okay, something's going on in this area. Let's take some satellite imagery to figure out what's going on. So we do rely heavily on open source. NGA uses a wide range of data. This slide here just shows you the manner in which we conduct that. So for land, That's going to be any of our feature data, vegetation, C, safety of navigation. In addition to, like I said, we provide that GeoInt to our IC partners, to policymakers, to our DoD support troops. We also conduct a number of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. So if you think of like hurricanes that occur and there's massive flooding, and different localities are trying to figure out ways in which they can get like Red Cross support in, or how they can get meals, shelter, that sorts of thing. NGA sometimes works heavily with local troops or local forces to ensure that we provide like directional information to them so that they can get those needed resources into people who may have been impacted due to a natural disaster of sorts. So that's that safety of navigation. Additionally, we provide safety of navigation for maritime. So a number of ships that are sailing, we create maps for them using, again, that geospatial intelligence. Also, Air Force, we provide a number of maps and like safety of navigation charts for them in their missions as well. So you can see that under sea, air, science, research. We do a lot of human geography that comes into play also, and that relies a lot on, again, like why people or certain cultures navigate to certain areas. What's so special about that area that they chose to navigate or like develop there versus another area? We look at those sorts of things as well. So NGA is an intelligence agency, but we also have like other missions as well. So what does the NGA workforce look like in general? We have about 14,500 employees. We have 3 different locations. We are located, like the main headquarters is located in Springfield, Virginia. And if you're not familiar with Springfield, Virginia, it's basically a suburb of Washington, D.C. So I actually live in Maryland. I'm at my home in Maryland now. And when I was in the office, I was commuting from Maryland to Virginia. But Virginia, or I'm sorry, the DC Springfield office is our main building, main campus. And then we also have locations in St. Louis, Missouri, and as well as Arnold, Missouri. And then in addition to those, we have like satellite little locations across the country and around the globe, of course, because we're conducting intelligence. But for the most part, all of our employees are located at those 3, Springfield, Virginia, St. Louis, Missouri, or Arnold, Missouri. Of the 14,500 employees, the majority of those are going to be civilian, meaning non-military staff. We do have sub-active duty, Navy, Air Force, you can name it. We have all of the branches that are currently working in our footprint. And then we have a number of government contractors as well. They make up about a third of our population. So the areas in which our employees are broken up into are what we call career services, better known in other organizations as basically departments, but we call them or refer to them as career services. So we have 2 different like departments or features of career services. One is going to be core mission. Core mission are going to be the people actually working to contribute to our national security issues, right? Those that are conducting that GeoInt, analyzing that GeoInt, writing reports on that GeoInt, briefing the president, briefing the director of our agency. The core mission area, those career services are doing core mission. And then you have mission support. That's where you'll find our contracts, our finance, human capital. As a campus recruiter, I'm in the human capital career service, inspector general, like our lawyers, our public affairs liaisons, our communications folks, and security and facilities. We find a number of our engineers who work there. We also have a number of engineers who are in data and visualization, but I'll discuss that a little bit more in a few moments. So in order to be eligible for employment at NGA, because we are an intelligence agency, you do require a top secret security clearance to have access to our buildings. So you must be a U.S. citizen. You have to at least be 18 years of age. You have to be able to obtain and maintain that top secret security clearance that our office will pay for. I think there's about maybe 1% to 2% of the population right now that actually have top secret security clearances. So once you get it, it's definitely like a golden ticket that will make you that much more marketable for your career if you're interested in doing intelligence or kind of being in the DC area of sorts. And then last, the other two requirements are that you pass a counterintelligence polygraph, and then you are subject to initial drug testing and then random drug testing throughout the tenure of your or duration of your employment. And again, that's because you have to maintain that top secret security clearance. Additional eligibility for our summer 2021 internship position that we have open, you must have a graduation date of August of 2021 or later. So if any of you are interested in or considering the summer internship program and you're graduating this fall or in the spring of next year, unfortunately, you wouldn't be eligible for the internship. You'd have to look at our full-time opportunities. But if you're graduating August 2021 or later, definitely please keep the summer 2021 internship in mind. And then as we discussed a few moments ago, we're located in Springfield, Virginia, St. Louis, and Arnold, Missouri. So I want to now go to a quick YouTube video just to give you a little bit more background on the internship.
So NGA is a supporting agency. We aren't the people who are out in the field and front lines, but we support those who are out there, like the first responders and the war fighters.
I actually really enjoyed doing briefings because I've had some experience with presenting to like my supervisor and my boss, but I think briefings here and within the government are really cool because it's not only an opportunity to demonstrate to them what you've been doing, but it's also a great opportunity to take a step back and take another look at the work you've done.
There are plenty of opportunities as well for interns to always connect with each other, whether it be through internal chats or social events such as picnics or happy hours. And it's always a really great experience.
I applied to NGA's internship program because I wanted to be something bigger than just myself. I wanted to contribute to a greater good, and having that sense of patriotism for my nation, I wanted to help protect it in whatever way I could. So the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency was a good fit. So I applied to this internship, I got in, and it was amazing because I was actually able to apply what I was learning like in my job. And then funny enough, I actually learned a lot of skills here that I was able to take back to school with me. That was a really neat aspect, and now I'm back again. So
one of the best things about NGA, though, at least from my experience, has been I've gotten from my branch. And when I say that, my branch has been one of the most professional networks I've ever interacted with. Thank you, NGA, for fantastic internship.
Okay. So that, like I said, was a brief video just to give you a little bit more information about the internship. Now, with regards to some of the types of backgrounds that we look for when we're recruiting for full-time opportunities as well as the internship, data analytics is huge, and that is because, like as I mentioned before, we are taking satellite imagery, and our satellites are capturing hundreds of thousands of images per day. So in order to ensure that our imagery analysts are as efficient and productive as they need to be, we are definitely trying to figure out ways in which we can sort through all of those images and only have the imagery analyst review or take a look at those images that definitely need to be looked at. So data analytics and figuring out ways to code and program so that we can be more efficient as an organization, those things are huge for us. And then, of course, with data analytics, like I said, I'm in HR. You have to think with anything regarding HR that's going to be employee-based information. So we're doing lots of studies trying to analyze how many folks we have at this grade, how many folks we have at that grade. What is our turnover numbers? What is our retention number? So data analytics is huge. Of course, IT, you have anything from help desk to cyber security to, the possibilities are endless. So IT is huge. Geography, GIS, of course. multimedia and visualization. So I'm not going to read the list. You can see those there. We also hire a lot of finance sorts of roles, so contract specialists, accountants, that sorts of thing. We do have a police force, but that wouldn't be of interest to you all, of course. Some of the majors: comp sci, IT, math, data science. Again, I won't read those. Programming. So if you have familiarity with Python or R or Stat, C++, Tableau, just to name a few, those are always definitely skill sets and backgrounds that are of interest to us. And then why NGA is an employer choice. I'm not going to go through each and every bullet here because a number of these are going to be more so geared towards our full-time employees. But with regards to why we're important, why we as an intel agency have an important and enduring mission, right? Because again, the work that we do contributes to national security. So just to give you an example, we, NGA, were heavily involved in the mission when Osama bin Laden was found and ultimately killed. NGA actually created, once we found out where he was, we shared that information with the president at the time, was President Obama, and got the green light. NGA was actually able to create like a 3D model for the Navy SEALs who actually went into the compound to try to get Osama bin Laden. We created a 3D model of the place that he lived. And that was all based on the satellite imagery and the research that we had been conducting on that compound once we found out where he was. So that's just one example. There's tons of others. And I can share that one because that's no longer classified. It's been unclassified. But that's just one of the examples of the way in which our organization has been definitely has contributed to national security. Once you're a full-time employee, job security is unparalleled by industry. And basically what that means is as a government employee, albeit with NGA or any other government organization at this time, and in the COVID environment where a number of folks are getting laid off or let go, us as government employees have definitely been, thank God, covered and not subject to those sorts of layoff and pink slip sorts of things. Career development for our employees, you do have the opportunity to get tuition reimbursement. So for example, if you come in as an intern and you basically test us out and you like or have a good feel with the agency and you decide to convert over to a permanent employee once you graduate, because the agency does have an 85% conversion rate of our interns converting to full-time employees, and you choose that you're going to work and then maybe postpone going to grad school, for example, we do have tuition assistance where you can still be working with us full-time, taking courses on the side, and NGA will cover those. And I also should have mentioned that we recruit for the summer internship program at all grades, at all levels. So meaning you, depending on the graduation date, but you can be an undergraduate student, a graduate student, doctoral student, law student. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what sort of educational program you're in. The most important thing though is that graduation date. Okay. Federal benefits, again, those are going to be for full-time employees, but when you come on board as an intern, you are accruing annual leave. So each pay period, you accrue up to 4 hours of paid vacation time. The internship is 10 weeks over the course of the summer, and it is paid. You do get to select which location you'd like to intern at. I have had students who one summer would intern in St. Louis. I think it was her sophomore summer. So she was a rising junior. So that first summer she interned at our St. Louis location. And then when she was a rising senior, she interned with us again and then decided to intern at our Springfield, Virginia location. And once she completed that summer program with us, she was converted to full-time employment. So we do have an Advantage Fitness program. And what that is basically all of our employees, if you're a full-time or an intern, you get 3 hours of excused absence to work out. But it has to be done on NGA's campus. So we do have on-site gyms at all of our locations, state-of-the-art gyms. So we have all kinds of treadmills, stair climbers. We have a studio for Zumba, for spin, for Pilates, for HIIT exercise, so on and so forth. And we also have basketball courts in the Springfield location, full-length basketball court. So you do get 3 hours of excused leave to work out. What that basically means is if you choose to come in check your email for a second, then go down to the gym and work out, take a shower, get dressed, come back to your desk. Perfectly acceptable. If you choose to work your day, leave work an hour, complete your day an hour early, and then use that remaining hour to go down to the gym and work out and then go home, perfectly acceptable. It's just up to you how you'd like to use it. Compressed work schedules. What that basically means is we try to be flexible with people's work lives. So if you know you are leaving town for the weekend or want to have a long weekend, so you would like to work over or additional hours like Monday through Thursday so that you can leave earlier on Friday or not come in on Friday, we do have that flexibility for you as well. I work a compressed schedule. What that basically means is I work 9 hours a day and then I have every other Friday off. So I'm actually off Friday of this week, which means my Labor Day holiday week. My Labor Day weekend is going to be really long because I'll be off Friday and Monday for the holiday. And then telework opportunities. When this presentation was created, we do have telework options. It just depends on the nature of the work that you're doing. Of course, if you're working on classified projects and such, you cannot bring that home. But anything that you can do that's unclassified, you can conduct that at home. Our building is now up to 50% of being filled. So a number of us are still working remotely, completing our assignments. So that's just the nature of the business that we're in. I've been home since, I think it was March 15th or so. But we do have some employees, again, because they could be analysts or working on some different things. So they're going into the office. It may not be every day. They may be going in 2 days a week. But not everyone is back in the building as of yet. So why intern at NGA? This is a quote that one of our summer 2019 interns shared with us. So I wanted to include in the presentation to be able to share with you all. Choosing to work at NGA offered an excellent extension of my classroom experiences. The projects I worked on allowed me to bridge skills acquired in government and technology courses while working towards very meaningful mission goals. In addition, mentorship from senior leaders at the agency fostered my personal growth and development in unique ways, ultimately shaping the trajectory of my career. I would highly recommend NGA to anyone with an interest in public service and national security. So you may think, okay, I have an engineering background or I'm focused on STEM. How does my major tie into what you all do at NGA? And I say that to say at NGA, we recruit across all majors because honestly, there's a fit for everyone. It just depends on how you would like to use your degree. You could graduate with a STEM degree or background, but ultimately, when you do choose to get into the real world and, get a full-time job, the question you just have to ask yourself is, do I want to use the degree in this way or do I want to use it in that way? So the tip or the information that I always share with students is to always keep an open mind, because we have a number of folks who may have like MBA degrees or like I have a liberal arts degree. So I kind of landed in HR, but I actually enjoy what I do, right? So it's just a matter of you determining if the non-conformative way of using your degree is something that you're interested in doing. Also, consider if the DC area, not even necessarily if you choose not to work for NGA, but just being in this area, is this something, are you willing to relocate? Would you like to work for a government agency? Would you like to travel? Those sorts of things. So just keep that in mind when you're considering your aspirations now and into the future. So this slide just kind of gives you information about what there are activities for you to do in either the DC area or St. Louis, where NGA is located. Of course, in DC, there's a ton of museums that you can experience, monuments, so to speak. So I really won't go into much detail here. As government employees, you are eligible for a transit subsidy. So you don't have to pay for your commute to work if you use public transportation. I actually was in a van pool. Again, this is pre-COVID. I was in a van pool. There were about 8 of us in a van, and my subsidy for the van pool was paid for by NGA. I didn't have to pay out of pocket. So I would literally drive my car like 10 minutes to where we all met up, and then we would all get into the van, and then we would drive that van to and from the building, and the gas was paid, and then like my fee to be in the van, all of that was covered. So I basically had like a no commute, out of pocket expenses for my commute, I should say. So if you're interested in applying for NGA, our career website is there on the screen, intelligencecareers.gov/NGA. As I mentioned, our summer 2021 internship announcement is currently open. It closes on September the 30th, but you can apply from now until September the 30th. You must be a student with a graduation date of August of 2021 or later. The internship is 10 weeks. It'll be the summer of 21 for 10 weeks at a minimum. It all depends on when you're returning back to school next fall. We have had students do 11 weeks or 12 weeks. It just depends on when they start classes back in the fall. And then the internship is paid. If you are graduating prior to August of 2021 and you're like, hey, I kind of just want to see what NJ is about, and you visit our career website and you do find a position that you are interested in applying for, we do ask that you apply sooner rather than later, because for the internship, all of our interns are hired as one cohort, so they're brought in at the same time. So due to that, the background investigations for our interns are expedited to ensure that everyone can literally onboard at the same date in May or June. Well, for full-time employees, it runs the gamut of when you're going to be brought on. Typically, you start at the beginning of a pay period. So because of that, it could be 9 months, it could be 12 months. Those background investigations and the whole application process takes much longer than the internship. So I said all that to say, if you do find a position you're interested in applying for, and it's a full-time position, be sure to apply sooner rather than later, because the process can take a lot. It is lengthy. And we have there for all of you that are possibly completing your degree programs in the spring of 21 to apply now. So we do have to put our disclaimer in here. This presentation does not in any way guarantee employment with NGA or the federal government. And now I'll have a couple slides just about the application process before I will go out to our career website just to show you what it looks like. So similar to a number of other organizations or employers out there, NGA has its own career website where you have to complete or build a profile, username, password sort of thing within the site. And because of that, you're not given the opportunity to upload a resume. So you're literally going to be having to fill out the prompts in the system and typing in the text fields what your previous background, experiences, knowledge, skills, and abilities, education, all of that volunteer work, student organization participation. You're going to literally just be typing that in the text boxes that you'll see on the screen. So because of that, that gives you a lot of flexibility. You're not going to be pigeonholed to, oh, I have to keep my resume to one page. I always tell students, if you have experiences and you want to be succinct and or descriptive with regards to those, please feel free to do so. I'm not saying to write 5,000 words for one of your previous work experiences, but if you need to be as detailed as you need to be, feel free to do so, because you're not limited by uploading a one-page resume or two-page resume. We do ask that you complete your application in its entirety. As I mentioned, attachments are not permitted. Then this bullet here just gives you an example of how you can write an effective versus an ineffective statement. So if you say I'm a hard worker and would be an asset, that's not really telling me anything, and that's probably something that a number of candidates or applicants would say. What you need to do is just kind of define that and tie it back to maybe a course you've taken, a program or software you've learned, and how you think that program or software contributes to the mission of NGA. So whenever you apply for an organization, always be sure to do a little research about it, just to see what little nuggets and tidbits you can pick up. So previously, when your meeting started, and Hannah was sharing the core values of SWE. NGA has core values. Our core values are Earth. And don't get me to, I can't quote what they are right now, but I know they stand for Earth. So if you see any of that information on our core values page and you're like, okay, I can contribute to this, I can contribute to this. If you see what our mission or our vision is and you have an idea, okay, I've learned this software, I've completed this group project, this course, and I think this course aligns 100% with the mission of the organization. Those are little nuggets you can include in your application that then makes us see why you would possibly be a good fit, to come in and contribute day one and help us fulfill our mission. So those are the sorts of things. So one effective statement here, my experience with tools such as ArcGIS, which we use quite a bit at NGA, combined with my critical intelligence coursework and overall interest in the intelligence community, make me a great fit. Those are the sorts of things or ways in which you can tie your personal experiences to that of what you found on our website, on NGA's website, through your research. Discuss accomplishments that do not logically fit in your resume. For example, if you are a dual major and you may be doing a STEM degree, and then you also have a philosophy major on the side, or a double major or something, like you can use your cover letter to kind of bring those in together, kind of highlight why you chose to combine the two. Just kind of be as descriptive and detailed as you can be. Cover letter is also a feature that you can add text to on our careers website as well. For our students who are applying to the internship, we definitely ask, it's not required, but we definitely highly recommend that you all complete a cover letter for your internship application. And what the areas that you can highlight in that cover letter include why you want to work at NGA, what unique characteristics and or experiences make you a good fit, so on and so forth. You can see those intern-specific bullets right there. For full-time, now because NGA has one internship announcement, I know a number of other organizations sometimes have like internships, but they'll have 6 or 7 or 8 different posts. We literally have one common internship announcement that all of our interns apply to. Now, when you're applying to a full-time job, well, let me go back. Because we have that one internship announcement, you can have one cover letter, right? It doesn't have to be tailored or tweaked or any of that sort of thing, because you're applying to one journal announcement. Now, if you're applying to any of our full-time opportunities, you will have to customize the cover letter because you're applying then to a specific position, right? Either a contract specialist or human resources. Those are going to be specific positions, which then means your cover letter should be specific as well. And in summary, we ask that you pay attention to detail. Your cover letter and resume should be customized. Ensure that your application justifies meeting all of the position requirements that are identified in the announcement, and I'll show you that in a second. And then what's big at NGA is speaking to impact, right? So if you say, let's see, I was a lifeguard, was that an example? No, I'll use a student organization position, because sometimes I notice students will say, well, I haven't had the opportunity to work because I've been in school, which is fine, but every experience that you've ever had contributes to your resume. So don't negate or don't take yourself out of contention by saying, oh, my volunteer work doesn't count, or all my coursework doesn't count, or my student organization membership and also my leadership roles don't count. All of that counts, because that at the end of the day is experience. If you served as a leader of a student organization, that means you're managing a membership of how many ever members. That means you're coordinating an executive board. That means you're project management. You're managing projects for the student org throughout the semester. That means you're creating events that are touching thousands, if not, well, hundreds, if not thousands of students on campus. Like, all of that is experience, right? If you have volunteer work with Make-A-Wish, that's project management, because you're assigned a patient, right? And then you create this wish campaign for them. Like, all of that is project management. So I said all that to say, please be sure to include anything that you think highlights or shows your collaborative skills, your educational, your communication skills, your time management, all those sorts of things. Use all of that information in your resume. Again, and this is not just for NGA, this is for any position you choose to apply to from this day forward. All of your experience counts. It's just a matter of you highlighting that volunteer, that student org, that class project, that presentation you did when you worked on a group project with your classmates. It's just how you highlight that and then like apply it directly to the organization that you're applying for. And then at NGA, this is what I was starting to talk about before I got off track. We always say speak to impact. And what that means is not just saying, like for me, I'll give myself an example. I held 10 information sessions in the month of September. Who cares that you held 10 information sessions? How many people did you have a personal conversation with where you could actually share tips and suggestions, or how many resumes did you critique? How many, you know what I mean? Like, you have to just not just give something face value, but what was the ultimate impact of your efforts. So I held 10 information sessions. As a result of me hosting or holding those 10 information sessions, I expanded the NGA brand because I share this opportunity with 50 students, who attend campus at this school, and then this presentation is recorded so it could be shared with other members of the group as well. So just one example of ways to think about impact, because your impact is deeper than we sometimes look at face value. Okay, so then we say to complete the application in its entirety and then to be patient, because again, this is a government agency, so sometimes the process takes a little while. So with regards to the timelines for the application, it initially opened in the winter of this year, and that announcement closed on June 30th. And then we opened the second announcement that, as I mentioned a moment ago, is closing on September the 30th. Applications will be reviewed in October and November, and candidates will be notified of their selection by Thanksgiving, early December. And that is because we then start the background investigation so that you all get your clearance and you can onboard with us next summer. Once you are deemed eligible for the internship and you move to the next phase, you will receive a U.S. Hire invitation, which is basically a virtual interview. And then you'll have 2 weeks to complete that. And then after you complete that piece, you'll be notified here early December-ish. For full-time applicants who are not eligible for the internship due to graduation date, but you apply to any full-time opportunities, again, we say apply sooner rather than later just because the process can be lengthy. We don't have to talk about this one because that announcement is already closed. This just says career services. If you remember, career services were those departments, core mission support. They extend their offers, 67% of their offers to candidates who apply during the second announcement window. And it gives you, the student, more time to conduct research on where your skill set best fits the agency, and also more time to properly gain knowledge and skills. And then lastly, this slide just kind of gives you information about our portal, which I want to go there now. Portal. And here is my 3.5-year-old son. I apologize. So here is, let me mute. I'm going to mute just to call my husband. Give me 1 second. I apologize. All right, I'm back. Apologies. Okay. So I now have the website. Can you all see that? Hopefully you can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. So our career website is intelligencecareers.gov/NGA. But before I go into our page, I just want to show you what the main intelligencecareers.gov looks like if you're interested in any other IC agency, because a number of us share this site. You just put the extension at the end. So NGA would be, of course, NGA, NSA would be NSA, so on and so forth. So these are the other agencies that share this website. ODNI, which is Office of the Director of National Intelligence, DIA, Homeland Security, this is our page, NGA, and then NSA. All right, so the NGA page. This one is where we post all of our vacancy announcements. Even if you see an announcement for NGA on usajobs.gov, it's always going to link you back to this page. So just be mindful of that. I want to highlight this job exploration tool. If you have time, a few minutes, it's a good way just to kind of see if you think you would be a good fit in the IC based on your background. It takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes to complete. It's just something that's a useful tool there. But with regards to our current job openings and then the summer internship announcement, you would just click here, search NGA jobs. It opens up all of our current positions. scroll through those slowly so you can see data scientist, visualization, data steward. So you see data is really big to us. And training and education officer, but that won't fit you all. Okay. And then lastly, this is the one that I want to show you all. This is our summer 2021 internship announcement. So as you can see here, it lists the location, Springfield, Virginia, which again is here in the Washington, D.C. area. And then we have St. Louis, Missouri, Honor, Missouri. This position is in a pay band 2, and it opened in July and will be closing September the 30th. So this, I ask that you, if you do choose to apply to the internship, please read the announcement thoroughly, because there are definitely buzzwords and things that you can lift from the announcement to include in your application. Specifically include that language in your background, or, your work history or your experience. These are some of the sorts of positions that the interns are assigned once you onboard. So imagery analyst, imagery science, analytic methodology, geospatial analysis. These are going to be a number of our STEM background students, as well as a number of other places. We have cyber, we have IT architecture, IT ops, software development, so on and so forth. So I won't read all that. You can read that in your own time, but just wanted to highlight that for you. Here are some of our cross-cutting competencies. So again, these are some words you can lift. Set to meet priorities. Again, if you've ever had a leadership role in a volunteer organization, in an on-campus student organization, in working on group projects where you were like the leader of the project, these are some of the things you can use when you're completing that work experience. And then these are our core values that I mentioned earlier. So again, I said they stand for Earth, excellence, accountability, respect, teamwork, and honesty. And then here's the piece we've kind of already discussed, but your eligibility requirements: a U.S. citizen, 18 years of age, again, that top secret clearance that our agency pays for. We pay for the cost of that, polygraph, and then the drug testing piece. And then this is the graduation date piece. You have to have that, this one. A graduation date of August of 2021 or later. Now, if you are graduating prior to August of 21, you are ineligible unless you re-enroll that summer. So if, say, for example, you graduate in the spring of 21, and then you immediately start grad school like that summer, which then pushes your graduation date for that graduate degree beyond August of 21. In that case, you then would be eligible, but we'd have to get proof that you're enrolled in classes, so on and so forth. So just keep that in mind. Anything else I wanted to point out? So as I mentioned, the internship is paid. Most of our undergraduate interns come in making this salary. Of course, these are annual numbers, so you'd have to do the math, but I believe it equates to like somewhere between $17 and $18 an hour, if I'm not mistaken, is what the interns make. And if you have a graduate degree, so if you're in graduate school, you would come in at this pay band, making some more. And cover letters are not required, but again, strongly recommended, so on and so forth. So I just wanted to show you all the announcement. Once you read through that, you would then have to log in to apply. But what that means is you have to set up or create a actual profile within intelligencecareers.gov. And then you can apply to that position. And then we have a dashboard so you can kind of go in and check your progress periodically. And with that, I open the floor for any questions you all may have.
Everyone, go ahead and type your questions into the chat unless you're comfortable unmuting your microphone.
So I see Amber. Since I see hers first, I hope it's okay if I just read hers. She asked, what does a typical day of an intern look like? So it all depends, right? This summer, again, in the COVID environment, was a lot different. We typically onboard about 300 interns every summer, 300 to 350, I would say. The majority of those are going to be new interns, and we normally have about 100 returning. So once you intern with NGA, I should have mentioned this in the presentation, you're always an intern until you graduate. So what that means is you can intern the summer after your freshman year, so you can continue to come back, because once you have your clearance, you literally are able to come in our building as you please, right? So you are an intern until you graduate or complete your degree program. So we've had interns intern in the summer, and then if they're local to the area or can afford to come back to DC or to St. Louis, we've had some interns actually intern like over their Christmas break or their spring break too. They just have to let their managers know. But I was alluding to, so this summer, like I mentioned, we normally bring in 300 to 350 interns. 100 are going to be returning, and then those 200 to 250 are going to be new. Because COVID struck, we had not completed the background investigations or the clearances for those 250 new interns. So we had to actually push them back to next summer. So those 200 to 250 interns will not be actually onboarding with us until next summer. Hopefully, everything works out. So the only interns we had this summer were our 100 returning interns, and they did their entire program virtually. The reason we did that was because they were already cleared and there was no stoppage in bringing them on board. But because everything shut down, there was no way for us to get those 200 to 250 new interns, get their clearances processed in time for them all to on board. I think it was late May, early June. So this summer, a day in the life of an intern was really different. They did a lot of professional development training. They did a lot of Zoom WebEx sessions. They were Zoomed and WebExed out. We were assigned an intern to my team. She was actually from UT Austin, University of Texas, Austin. She actually developed a white paper for our office about best practices for trying to enhance or increase diversity numbers, right? So that's like an HR side of the house. Our IT, I honestly can't, unfortunately, and I apologize, I can't give you an example of something like an IT or STEM sort of intern, what sorts of project they may have had the opportunity to work on. But it just was different this year. So a number of our interns weren't even in the local area. Like our intern was in Texas the entire time. So this summer, it was like an anomaly. It was a little different. But in years past, what happens is you come on board, you get assigned a mentor in your department, and then you also get assigned a senior mentor. They assign you a project. It could be unclassed or classified, and then you have to complete that project within the 10 weeks of the internship and then report out at the end. So we've had interns develop new ways to analyze imagery. That's classified, right? So I can't go into detail about that. And everything as far as an intern developing a new training program. It just kind of depends on what area of those career service areas. It just depends on what area you're assigned to, and then what you share with your supervisor that you would be interested in working on. With the pushback of summer 2021, we will be second-list interns. So that's a very good question. They have not decided yet what that's going to look like, because I do think of the 200 to 250, a number of them may not choose to wait, right? Because they may be graduating, and which then means they're ineligible. So it's like right now, everything is up in the air. And I think because of that, because we don't know that, like the unknown, it's like a better chance. I feel like you'd have a better chance to get in just because you don't know, right? Because it's going to be unfair to say, well, because we have all these candidates that were postponed, that means we have to pick fewer, but we can't pick fewer if we're still getting the same amount of applications. So because of the unknown, I say, hey, apply, see what happens. I don't think if we normally get like 3,000 to 3,500 applications every cycle. So you can't get that many applications and say, I'm only picking 50 people, right? Like it can't work. So I say apply, put your best foot forward and see what happens. But I do know a number of those interns are not going to wait because life happens. We can't expect them to wait a whole year.
Okay, that's about the end of our time. Thank you so much for joining us. And I think we may actually have another event with NGA later this semester. So once we schedule that, we will see you again.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Stay safe.
You too. Goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Thanks everyone for coming.